Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back. We're looking at question 15 on the grade 7 Gauss contest from the year 2008. Let's just take a look here. Question 15. Using two transformations, the letter R is changed as shown. So R, and then it looks like it's sort of rotated 180 degrees. So the top goes where the bottom is. And then it looks like it's flipped on its side. So they're giving us another example here. Using the same two transformations, the letter L is changed as shown. L, and then, it looks like it's rotated and then flipped, where the left becomes the right becomes the left. Using the same two transformations, the letter G is changed to. Okay. So, what can we do here? Well, so there's sort of two options. One, we can take a look and observe what's going on with this question, and that's perfectly fine. Another thing that we could do is we could, get out a Sharpie. And so I have a Sharpie here, and so we can actually write on a piece of paper and physically see these transformations happening. And so what I would recommend you do, and I may have to turn my light off. Sometimes I have to turn my light off for these things to be shown. But I would write an R, an L, and a G on my piece of paper. Because they give me the examples with R and L, and I want to make sure I'm doing the right things. And the G is going to come along to the right. So let's see. Can we see this? Yes, we can. Okay. So R, L, and G here. Would it be better if I turn my light off? A little bit better. Okay. So I'll just do a little bit of this in the dark. So I've got my R, L, and my G here. And so if I'm not entirely sure, if I'm not looking at these and say, oh, yep, that's a rotation by 180 degrees, which, maybe I'm not accustomed to doing that, what I can do is I can write these down on a piece of paper and start doing things to them and start experimenting, flip. And if you use a Sharpie on a white piece of paper or any light-colored piece of paper, you can, as you guys can see, now that I've turned the light off, you can see the letters on the other side as well. If it's kind of faint and you can just see the outline, of course, you can draw over those outlines on the back so that you do have everything. So there's my R, L, and G, and then holding it up to the light, I would say, or because it's dark, I'm able to write them on the back as well. So I can mess around. And what I do is, just play around with a piece of paper, and suddenly I realize, oh, now I've got the R upside down like they've got it. I've got the L upside down like they've got it. So this must be what the process does to G. Excuse me. So this must be what the process does to G, so I could record that as sort of the middle stage. And now I can continue playing around with it until I get the final answers. And it turns out that if I flip it, now I've got the L upside down like they've got it, the R upside down like they've got it, and this would be my final G. So I can certainly play around with that if I bring a Sharpie and some light paper, or if I'm provided light paper. I'm going to turn my light back on now. Isn't that so much better? Or we can just... Sorry, I'm recording this a couple days after getting over a severe cold. But alternatively, we could say, well, gee, I can see that going from this stage to this stage is rotation by 180 degrees, and this is sort of flipping horizontally. So, if you're able to observe those operations, that's great. If you need to play around with it, that's fine as well. I always feel the need to record something, so R, and then he sort of rotates, and then we flip him. Okay, L, and then he rotates, and then we flip him. Okay. Alternatively, I guess we could just jump to the final answer, which seems to be a vertical flip. And if you wanted to experiment with your piece of paper and just try and get the final answers, that would be fine as well. But here are our intermediate stages. So G, and then we rotate, and then we do the flip. Alright, but we're looking for something that looks a little like this. And that's going to be D? Yeah, D. Okay, so D is our final answer for question 15. Every once in a while on the Gauss papers, you will get something where having a Sharpie and being able to reflect and rotate on your own piece of paper can be of great advantage. So I do suggest that as a material to bring for, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9 contests. Okay? It doesn't happen quite so much on, say, the Fermat paper, but it's still a useful thing to have. Just put a Sharpie in your pencil case. Anyway, that's 15. I will see you guys in the next video for question number 16.